The King James Bible has been in use for just over 400 years now, an evolution that is recounted in the acclaimed documentary film Fires of Faith. It's a book that transformed the world as the all-time bestseller and cost thousands of men and women their lives.
There were unseen hands steering this ship. It was a higher power that I felt like this story needed to be told.
Fires of Faith is the story of people yearning for the Word and martyrs dying for it, resulting in the King James Version of the Bible we use today.
Lord, open the King of England's eyes.
We began clear back in the 4th century when Jerome went to Israel. Then we fast forward to the 14th century where we have Martin Luther and John Wycliffe, Oxford University. He did some of the first translation.
Martin Luther was an ordained minister but felt a need to make changes in the Catholic Church. As a result, he was excommunicated and the Reformation began.
And he didn't set out to be a reformer. He just set out to try to do what he felt was right within his heart.
In fact, Groberg says Luther's excommunication scene really got to him.
And he says, I cannot deny. I will not recant. And as he does so, you see a tear trickle down his cheek, and you can see it in the film. But then we work our way up another 100 years to William Tyndale, who again felt that same urging.
I feel the need to put the Word of God into the hands of the common man.
And so he began translating, and he was told to knock it off.
Tyndale couldn't get the support he needed in England, so he left the country to do his work. His Bibles and manuscripts were then smuggled into England, but leaders there banned the English version of the Bible.
It could only be through the clergy. It could only be in Latin. And if you owned a Bible, you were subject to a fine or imprisonment. If you translated a Bible, you were put to death.
You are convicted of heresy and condemned to death.
I think the government and the church wanted to keep control of the people and not allow them to think for themselves, if you will.
That is, until England's Henry VIII funded the printing of the scriptures in English, then King James authorized a translation that has been in use for 4 centuries. Once in the hands of the common man, the Bible impacted whole societies.
The language, the dominant language of the earth is English. Government, the Puritans who came to America, their form of government was set up with the guidelines of the Bible.
This is the Word of God in our own language.
One of the scholars in the documentary said the King James Bible had the most powerful impact on the English tongues, followed by the Anglican Bible of the Church of England, and then William Shakespeare.